What's up, gamers?
Time for the third Q&A. A lot of questions, so let's just jump right in. After some polling on the Discord server, I learned that you guys would like to see separate update videos where I talk about development and the likes, so I'll be answering these questions later on. I plan to post them around the middle of every month, so you'll have more to look forward to than just the Q&A videos. More details will come out on this later on. All of these questions have been answered in previous Q&As, so I really don't feel like answering them again. If you'd like to see all the Q&As up to this point, they're in a playlist in order. I'm still not going to answer any questions about the number of animatronics, as I feel it ruins the surprise, but if y'all would like to continue asking, I'm happy to continue dismissing them. Will the real Fredbear make a cameo in Joyful Fears? Shadrick knows what I am talking about. Anything can happen, my friend. Anything. How are you? After answering that last question, I'm great. There were a couple questions about Mangle. Yes, Mangle will be in the game. They were teased on Game Jolt about 2 months ago, and no, they will not be fixed. A few of you were interested in who my favorite animatronic is. My favorite animatronic in general is either Lefty or Golden Freddy, and my favorite animatronic from Joyful Fears is Macabre Freddy. If you couldn't tell already, I like bears. Are you going to get beta testers? We've already chosen a couple beta testers, even though they don't have anything to test yet, but yes, in the future we may look for more. Any behind the scenes? You aren't the only person to ask about behind the scenes so far. I'm honestly not sure how it'd go about getting any behind the scenes though, but if y'all are interested, I'll look into it. Will there be death minigames? Yes, there will for sure be death minigames. Mind you, we aren't sure what they're gonna be yet, but we will definitely have them. Will we learn more about the Bite of 87 in this game? We're still somewhat unsure on how the Bite of 87 will play into the story, but we've come up with some ideas that we like. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program with special guest Cake.
Hello, it is I, Cake.
And Seabass.
Well, hello there.
They're here to help answer all of Dejected Axe's wonderful questions.
Great, let's start.
How many teeth does Nightmare BB have?
I don't know. Around 3 teeth.
What does JJ stand for?
Jack from The Incredibles.
Why are furries insane?
All of them are wild people.
How many generic SFM posters are uploaded here in a week, on average?
Around 620.
How many times does a character say how in Incredibles 2?
Either 0 or 62,308.
Is Baby's hair red?
Baby's hair is blue because Toby said Half-Life 3 is Deltarune.
What color is the sky?
Lol.
What is the color red?
The blood of furries.
What is the number between 2 and 4?
I don't know.
When will Half-Life 3 come out?
I'll assume you mean the Joyful Fears, which would be never lol.
How many of these questions actually relate to Joyful Fears?
What is Joyful Fears?
When does Deltarune Chapter 2 come out?
Whenever Toby comes out.
How many Saw films are there?
0.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for having us, Shadrick.
We'll see you guys later.
Always remember, pay your local Shadrick money or else you'll die.
Bye.
Aw, aren't those guys just a hoot? Now back to Shadrick with more questions. Thank you, Shadrick. Now, breaking news! Several of you had questions about the Withered animatronics. The Macabre animatronics are supposed to be dream versions of all the Withered animatronics. Most of Seabass's questions are too long, so I'm not going to read them off. There isn't any specific reason for this choice. FNAF 2 is just Apollo's favorite of all the games. Will there be any dark locations in the game? Most, if not all, the locations will be relatively dark. If I had to make a guess, I'd say probably the first and fourth night will be the most dark. Seabass still asks too long of questions. Macabre was actually the first name we had for them. Mr. Max designed them before Joyful Fears was a thing, and he came up with the idea of just using them for the game. He called them the Macabre animatronics, so that's what we stuck with. Will you make a full player model for Jeremy? Yes, we'll need a full player model for more realistic first-person animation, cutscenes, and mirrors. I'm feeling generous this time, so I actually read this one off. Will you show off any more music from the game before its release? We may release 1 or 2 more songs from the game, but no more than that. I want the first time you experience the full soundtrack to be during the game. Why does the sky turn dark at night? Well, why do you ask? I didn't have anything to do with it. I promise, so you should probably just go look somewhere else. Now this one right here. This is too long. It's actually because we had 2 different modelers for the Agonized animatronics. Agonized Bonnie and Chica were modeled by Soup, whereas Agonized Freddy and Mangle were modeled by Mr. Max. Will the animatronics have special animations when they move around? Yes, each animatronic will have its own unique movement animation. Oh, Seabass, you silly goose, the agonized and macabre animatronics have the same amount of lore relevance. Of all the things Scott posted, I think I'm most excited for the movie and the AR game. But I think I'm more excited for the AR game, because AR games are super fun. Will the game be tied into the FNAF lore somehow? The idea of Joyful Fears is that it follows pretty much right after the events of FNAF 2, so yes, it will be tied into the game. I guess I'll read this one too. Do you plan on releasing teasers that give out hints to the game's lore/story? I'd like to avoid lore and story teasers as much as possible, but I could see there being a couple here and there. There'll definitely be some story teasers in the trailer though. Will there be any custom night exclusive characters, if there is a custom night? It depends on what your definition of exclusive is. Will this game have unlockable things like plushies, trophies, etc.? I have no clue, to be honest. Ask again later and I might have a better answer for you. Another Seabass question. We're hoping we can get rid of any doubts about this game being unoriginal before it comes out. We've put a lot of thought into finding ways to make this game stand out, and I honestly think we found some pretty cool ones. Was Agonized Bonnie's design inspired by Innard with the multiple eyes? Probably not. Why does Agonized Toy Bonnie have 2 eyes? Is it abnormal for something to have 2 eyes? Another day, another long question. I don't remember anyone saying that, but either way we're fine right now. If we ask y'all for help, then we can't really keep the mechanics a secret until the game comes out, but if we do need help, we'll ask. This isn't a question, but I thought I would address it anyways. That most likely won't work for what we have in mind, but it's definitely a good idea. Are you going to add hearing mechanics like in FNAF 4? Yes, and that's all the info I'll give you. Are all the animatronic designs finished for the game already? Yes, all the animatronics have been designed and most of them have been modeled. I'll be nice and read this one, I guess. Do you plan on adding in children's drawings to the game? Yes, in fact, we're actually planning on doing a contest for it later on. It probably won't be for a while, but keep on the lookout for a post about it on Game Jolt and Discord. Will there be death quotes? Yeppers. Will there be a part of the game where the player is in the FNAF 2 pizzeria? Most likely not. The only place I could think is like in flashbacks or death minigames, but it's unlikely. And we'll end on Seabass because he asks way too many questions. It depends on the animatronic. Some will have their jump scare affected by it, but some will actually have mechanics based around it. That's all for this month, guys. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and never forget, the government is lizards.